What's up everybody, my name is Dwight and welcome back to GeForce Garage. We first ran across Travis from TheRawView when his Batman themed PC caught our eye a few years ago. He has another impressive themed mod, this time the ever popular Game of Thrones. Let's go take a closer look at his creation, Targaryen Blood.
So someone came to me wanting to do a computer build and they didn't really know exactly what theme they wanted. They had no theme in mind. They already had the case picked out, but they had no theme in mind. So I took him through the process of asking questions. What is he like? What is he into? What television shows is he into? And then he said he liked Game of Thrones a lot. And so then next question, of course, is what's your favorite house? And he said Targaryen. I was like, let's do a House of Targaryen theme build. And that is pretty much what we did. I think my favorite piece of artwork has to be the sigil in the middle. I think it's awesome. I love how it floats. It's basically connected at the base here. It's one of those pieces that it sounded good in my mind and it came out even better than I thought it was going to. So one of the ways I wanted to incorporate Game of Thrones, not just House of Targaryen, was including the map of Westeros. And so that was a complicated thing to figure out where to put it, how to put it. On the flip side, you have Daenerys and Drogon. On one of the SSDs, you have the Iron Throne, and on the other one, you have Daenerys and her 3 dragons. On the top for the SLI bridge, you have the House of Targaryen sigil again. And then on the very top of the motherboard, this is painted on the motherboard actually, it says Targaryen Blood because that's the name of the build. So I wanted the words fire and blood to be very clear to read, right? And so how I did that was by elevating this panel in front of the custom cables and then having fire and blood in big letters on it. And it came out exactly how I wanted it to. And behind the sigil is actually dragon's teeth. So the build was done in a Tower 900 from Thermaltake. It's a beast of a case, it's huge. You have so much room to just work with, it's awesome. Everything's on the ASUS Prime Deluxe X299 motherboard. The CPU is the i9-7900X. And I was able to overclock it to 4.4 stable. There's 128 gigs of DDR4 RAM clocked at 3200 megahertz. I have an M.2 Samsung 1TB SSD on the motherboard, and then I have 2 Samsung Evo 1TB on the bottom. And I have 2 1080 Ti's in the build. So when it comes to water cooling components, it's all EK Waterblocks. It's all EK fittings for the most part. There are some fittings that aren't EK just because I needed different increments, right? So EK only has 5mm, I needed 7.25 or whatever. So I've got a lot of questions about the reservoirs. Those reservoirs are from a company called Darkside. They make these reservoirs specifically for this case. They are actually 590mm tall. I have a 1600 watt EVGA power supply, 2 560mm radiators, one for the GPU loop, one for the CPU loop. All the custom cables were done by either myself or Mod 1, and I have a Thermaltake fan controller on the front. Some of the custom modifications I did to the case weren't really all that much. I had to drill 2 holes to mount the reservoirs in place. I also had drill holes down here, again, to mount those reservoirs in place. I didn't like the way that the front I/O looked, especially when it came to the power button. So I replaced them with Primo Chill switches. So you have the reset and the power. So the ASUS Prime Deluxe X299 motherboard comes in bright white, basically plastic pieces on it, and then it also has these crazy silver bright heat sinks, and I wanted those to be a lot darker, so I took all the white pieces, I painted those black, and then I took the heat sinks and I tinted them so they're a lot darker. So all the other modifications were basically replacing some panels with acrylic panels and then just putting acrylic over other panels. So where you see fire and blood and that acrylic panel behind it, that's actually mounted onto the motherboard tray. And then the panel below it where the tubes are going into, that used to be a metal panel and now that's just a black acrylic panel. I drilled holes to run the tubes and used pass-through fittings. I think the most nerve-wracking part about this build is actually mounting the reservoirs, which doesn't sound bad, but realistically, you have one shot, and if you mess that shot up, then you're probably just buying another case or having something that looks absolutely ridiculous.
Thanks Travis for showing us your amazing PC mod. That center sigil looks awesome and that acrylic work is top notch. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and we'll see you for the next one.